welcome to Abra.TV News. My name is Tim Wise, and thanks for joining us here on the end of December 2021. I'm so pleased that you're tuning in, and we've got some exciting news for you today and also for 2022. Reflecting over the last 20 months or so, when Abra.TV was first developed, we didn't know where the COVID was going or what was happening in the world. And in these last 20 months, Abra went from just one program, Hollywood Stars of Magic, to over 30 channels on the network and growing. We have major magic organizations involved and a great news program that I'm excited to tell you about. We started out with the news. We had to take a little break because we lost some great people in this world, including my best friend and beloved Terry Sinclair. And I had to take some time off to retool, if you will, to help rebrand Abra.TV. Several people involved in the network are tenured in the business. Greg Gleason, Jeff McBride, Franz Harari, many other great performers here on the network. And what was really fun to look at is that we're all ambassadors, if you will, stewards of magic. And so what I'd like to do is now introduce you to your new news director for Abra.TV. He's a longtime friend. He's tenured in the business as well. He's very capable, produced many shows, festivals you might have attended, and now he's part of Abra.TV and the Abra.TV news director. His name is J. Scott Berry, and I'm going to hand it off right now to Jay for 2022 and all the great things that you're going to bring to the network. So thank you for being with me, Jay, on this new adventure of Abra.TV 3.0 going into 2022. So take it over, pal, and look forward to working with you. And it's going to be exciting, people, so don't miss it. Really, don't miss it. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next year, 2022. Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you, Tim, and welcome, everyone. It's Saturday, January 1st, 2022, and this is Abra.TV News. Charles Dickens famously wrote, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times." And that simple phrase was as true then as it is today. So even though we are faced with unique challenges, we are also magicians, endowed with a mindset that, if applied, can turn crisis into opportunity. And it is with that thought that I am very pleased and honored to be here. The headline news is that live magic is back, stronger than ever, from coast to coast and around the globe. Our top story is Mystique Dining, whose venues are rapidly expanding under the creative direction of Terry Commons. The concept for the Mystique Theater had its beginning 30 years ago when Terry combined his close-up magic with a haunted mansion theme for Halloween. This led to the first Mystique Chamber Mystery Theater, which ran from 1997 to 2000 in Idaho, presenting over 1,200 shows. Terry then reworked the template in 2001 with an intimate dinner show alongside a 300-seat theater, each providing a wondrous, interactive entertainment experience. These initial forays proved so popular that they became the catalysts for the current Mystique Dining and the Prestige Parlor of Magic. With two successful venues now open in California and one in Utah, Mystique Dining offers a fantastic, rich atmosphere where guests enjoy a gourmet dinner before experiencing an evening of world-class magic. The Prestige Parlor is a larger, less formal venue with tables set in vintage cabaret style. The first one is up and running in Utah, and the second will open soon in San Diego. Each of these theaters are open to the public, with nightly performances by some of the finest magicians in the world. On behalf of all of these performers, I'd like to extend a special note of thanks to Terry Commons, whose hard work and tireless dedication to the art has proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that the rumors of magic's demise are greatly exaggerated. 10 years ago, Las Vegas star and FISM Grand Prix winner Lance Burton ended his epic run of shows at the Monte Carlo Casino. He took a well-earned hiatus to write and produce the Billy Toppet movie. Then he packed up shop and moved back to his home state of Kentucky. Once there, he could have easily settled into a comfortable retirement. But the spark of magic still burned in his heart. That spark has once again burst into a flame, and Lance Burton is back better than ever. He took to the road last year with an all-star team that included comedy magic superstar Fielding West, master juggler Michael Goudot, and illusionist Keith West. His live show, Lance Burton and Friends, is a signature mix of sleight of hand, grand illusions, and audience participation. An amazing Las Vegas-style show suitable for the whole family. Heading across to the East Coast, the lights are back on and the curtain is up at the Players Theater in the Big Apple. Monday Night Magic is New York's longest-running off-Broadway show. Over the years, its cavalcade of conjurers have included the cream of the crop. Each week, this Greenwich Village theater presents at least 5 world-class magicians, performing dazzling displays of the art, from strolling close-up to parlor and stage. And finally, the first major magic convention of the year is scheduled in just 2 weeks, January 15th through 18th in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Society of American Magicians will hold their 93rd convention at the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino with Max Maven as the official honoree. The stellar lineup for this 4-day event includes Mac King, Eric DeCamps, Mark D'Souza, Lucy Darling, Guy Hollingworth, Mayor You Did, and many more. Tim Wise will be reporting live from the convention. And speaking of Las Vegas, let's head across the desert to that sparkling oasis of entertainment with our man on the strip, Grand Master Illusionist Greg Gleason.
Thanks, Jay, and welcome to Las Vegas. This is Greg Gleason in Las Vegas. I'm actually at the MGM tonight for 2 reasons. Number 1, to see the legend, the most successful magician in the world, David Copperfield. David Copperfield's been doing his show here for maybe 15 years now. The show is unbelievable. It's nothing like what you've seen on his earlier specials. It's almost all new material. And the second reason I wanted to start here at the MGM is because this is the first hotel that I started at when I moved to Las Vegas. The year was 1993. They just finished building the MGM, and my show, The Wizard's Secrets, it was produced by John Mooring. It was right here at the front of the MGM, right on the corner of Tropicana and Las Vegas Boulevard. It was housed in the Emerald City. It was a $15 million theater specifically for this 100-seat close-up illusion show that I performed 9,400 times, and about 9,000 of them were sold out. Again, it was only 100 seats, but this is here at the MGM in Las Vegas, and this is where I started. So I wanted to start my first episode here. So what else is going on in Las Vegas besides David Copperfield's show? Well, let's run down the shows. The Rio has Penn and Teller, where they tape their weekly show, Fool Us. They have been performing there for probably 20 years now. We got Matt Franco, winner of America's Got Talent, has a great show at the Link. Shin Lim has an amazing show. He and Colin Cloud are at the Mirage. And if you don't think a close-up show works in a big theater, you need to go see the show. It's absolutely amazing. And I can't say enough about how great it is. It really is. They had 4 standing ovations the night I was there. You have a good friend of mine just opened up at Bally's, Farrell Dillon. Farrell Dillon and I toured in the Masters of Illusion tour across the country 9 or 10 times together. We also starred in Bally's Masters of Illusion, the Big Illusion show, but he has his own show in a venue called the Magic Attic. Also in that room is Frederic. He's a mentalist, has a show called Phenomenon. Absolutely great mentalism show. Speaking of mentalism, Banachek opened up at the Stratosphere. Also, Xavier Mortimer's got a show down there. And Mike Hammer, don't forget Mike Hammer, great show at the Four Queens downtown. So those are the main shows here in Las Vegas right now. So if you're out here, be sure to check out one of those shows. Each week I'll be back. I'll be visiting different properties. We will be going to see other people's shows. I'll be meeting with many of the magicians either before or after the show and giving you the updates of what's going on in Las Vegas at all the casinos. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thank you, Greg. It's great to see so many of the shows up and running again. We look forward to seeing you next week. I'd like to take a moment now to recognize and thank our sponsors. Please support them. If you'd like to be a sponsor of this show or the Aber.TV network, we'll be happy to welcome you. Robert Houdin famously said, "The magician is an actor playing the part of a magician." And we tend to focus on the nouns, but forget the verb. To play. In French, jouer, jouer la magie. It's a game. And I reckon the game we play is Fox and Hounds. Fox and Hounds. So whether we like it or not, the hounds will always be chasing. But it doesn't have to be adversarial. We don't play against the audience, we play with the audience, leading them on a merry chase. And I reckon our role in this game is to outwit, outsmart, and outfox, while we amaze, amuse, and inspire. We often hear people say, when things get back to normal. I say, there is no going back, only forging ahead fearlessly. What has emerged out of the myriad of challenges are Zoom shows, lectures, workshops, and mentoring. And the man who has led the way is our very own Paul Draper. Please welcome master magician, illusionist, mentalist, and performer with Navigating the New Normal.
Thanks so much, Jay. It's so good to see you. It's so good to be on here with everybody. So yes, it's a lot to say that I'm navigating this better than anybody else, but I have been navigating it in my own way. And I want to tell you, it wasn't easy. I was performing at Disneyland, as many of you know. When we look back at March 2020, I was performing at Disneyland, and they asked me to stand in front of the gates when Disneyland Park closed, and there were still thousands of guests in the hotel rooms, and they asked if I would entertain those guests for a few days. So for a few days in 2020, I literally was the magic of Disney. But we kept getting these calls that I had to only have crowds of 150 and then dissipate, 50 and then dissipate, 20 and then dissipate, 10, and then it didn't make sense anymore. And so on the drive home, I thought, well, what am I gonna do at this point? All of the shows had canceled. It happened to all of us. But in those few days, I thought about it, and I even drove home, and my sweetheart, she had been at the dentist to get a retainer, and we owed $500, and I didn't have it because it was the start of the year, and I had spent my whole year's worth of money on airplane tickets and car reservations and hotel reservations and couldn't get that money back. And I cried in the parking lot outside the dentist. How will I get $500? I applied at the local grocery store to be a produce manager because that's something I'd been when I was little. But within 3 days of getting home, I had started doing my first Zoom show because I thought about it and I went, okay, look. When I was a little boy at Epcot Center, they had the screens talking to people in the future. On the Jetsons, they had the screens. I love old classic television shows and that were shot live. Watch all those old great shows that were shot live in studio where anything can happen. And I thought this could be that medium. But what's different about what I offer from what anybody else offers? Because if they want to watch an amazing magic show, somebody would be better off watching a David Copperfield special or a Doug Henning special or a Chris maybe not that. And but they'd be better watching one of these pre-taped amazing specials. So what do we have to offer? Well, we have to offer the live TV element where anything can happen. We also have immersion and interactivity where we can see them, hear them, interact with them, play off of what they're doing, and every piece of magic has to be that way. So I threw away my old show. I put most of it's still in the bag that came home with me from 2020. I hope that Bill and Lemon is okay. No, there's no fruit or anything in there, but the doves. No, I was a mentalist. But I threw all that away and I said, what can I build that's specific for this environment? I didn't try and modify what I did, but I create something specific for here. And throughout these episodes, I'm going to pop in with little 2-3 minute segments like that to talk about the mindset of being aware of what's out there, accepting the knowledge that comes in, and modifying what we do to fit within the new normal rather than fighting back and demanding that the world change to fit us. So with that, back to you.
Thank you, Paul. You truly are an inspiration. We look forward to next week's episode of Navigating the New Normal. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Finally, last year we said goodbye to many dear friends and colleagues. So as we mourn their passing, we also acknowledge their indelible contributions to the art while celebrating their extraordinary lives. As my old pal Bill Larson would say, aloha.